Last episode, we started work on our gold farm in the industrial area. We laid down a foundation, set up some storage, and we created an incredibly efficient cobblestone farm in order to kick off the process. We also set up some crushing wheels and a little bit of power to get them started. And today what we are going to be working on is a power plant because unfortunately we had to leave the gold farm unfinished last episode. The reason for that is because we just didn't have enough power to continue the process any further. The 6 crushing wheels you can see behind me are unfortunately the extent of the power that we can provide. We have 24 large water wheels underneath the factory, which are generating enough power for that only. We cannot add any more crushing wheels or fans or anything else until we have more power. So today, that is exactly what we're going to be working on. We are going to be working on a power plant. Specifically, we are going to be looking at creating a steam power plant. Now, the steam power plant is interesting because it uses blaze burners. So that is going to be our first project. We are going to need quite a hefty amount of blaze burners. I'm thinking we might potentially need 16, maybe 20. I don't know if that might be too much, too little, but either way, we are going to be looking at getting some blaze burners. So the first thing I want to do is have a look at how we make a steam engine. So it's gold, zinc, and copper, or sorry, gold, andesite, and copper. And to make a blaze burner, we need iron sheets and netherrack. So first thing we are going to do is head on back over to Iron Reach Valley and just make up a bunch of blaze burners and try our best to safely fill them up using the mob farm. So after that, I managed to end up with 28 filled blaze burners with blazes inside. So I've come back over to the industrial area and I've come over to the far right side in this little cut-off area here. And I think this is where I want to build the power plant, specifically in this corner. So near the rail, I think it's a nice place to try and build a little power plant, and I have a couple of designs in mind. So I thought we could just get the stone platform in place and then we can build up from there. So I'll see you guys when that's done. Okay, and now that we have the platform in place, I think we can start actually putting something together. So we're going to start by laying out our blaze burners in some sort of order that I think would be beneficial. And then I think the next thing we will work on once that is done is a lava source underneath the factory. Obviously we can power blaze burners with anything. We can use coal, we can use wood, we can use blaze cakes. We don't have blaze cakes, and lava is the next best alternative because we can turn it into a lava source. All we need to do is make it big enough. So I believe it is 15,000 blocks that we need to make it. So I think we can do essentially just a giant pit of lava, and then that should create us a lava source block. All we need is some actual lava, and then we need a hose. So in terms of where I want our blaze burners, I was kind of just thinking of lining this back wall here. So maybe put 4 there, and then we need a 2-block gap with a 1-block gap. So we need a 5-block gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So these are going to be our steam engines. These are going to be where our water tanks are stored. They're going to be easy enough to fill up. We are just going to have a couple of water source blocks just behind them with a pump, which is obviously going to be powered by the steam that we are generating. So it should be a fairly self-sufficient farm. I think the hardest part is going to be actually powering them with lava. But if we hook up a pump to the bottom of each one and then just run it all into a lava source, it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm fairly confident that we can get this up and running. A pump into the side of all of these, and we're going to turn the pump around so that it's bringing in fluid rather than taking out. And actually, now that I think about it, I want the pumps. I don't want the pumps on the tank. I want the pumps on the water. So we need to grab these. That llama's having a field day. We need to grab these and then move them. So we are going to have water sources just back here behind each of these. So now that that is done, what we can do is get some fluid pipes coming out, and that, just like that. And I think there is actually an easier way to do this. I think you can get a block that acts as a water source, but I think, well, I don't think the other way is necessarily easier. I just think this way is a little bit bigger. So I'm not too fussed about that. I'm actually kind of okay with that. So I think what is next is we need to fill these all up. So I just want to get the cog wheels in place. And I think what we're going to do is just run some cog wheels all the way along just so that we can power everything in one go. And obviously this is not going to be permanent. We will pick these all up eventually. And then if we just chuck that there, we should be able... okay, yeah, we can't hand crank that. Okay, that's fine. How much... so this uses... Oh, no, need this. 4 times its RPM. Yes, we'd need at least 1,000. So, yeah, we would only be able to do these one at a time, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure we can do them one at a time. Yeah, okay, we can. So, let's get pumping, and this should... Yep, so this is filling up already. That's good. So obviously we aren't going to do this for the full duration, just enough to kind of kickstart it and give it a chance. So yeah, we don't have any actual steam engines, but our next protocol is going to be creating this infinite lava source. So I have enough drills to do that. It's just whether or not we can actually get it sorted. So I need a hose pulley, some cog wheels. I need that hand crank back. And then we just need a minecart contraption, which should be lava. Although I don't think we have enough per contraption. We'll need quite a few. So what I need to do is run back and grab a couple of rails so that we can actually set this up, and then we can start swapping out the contraptions with what is back at the valley. So this is going to be a very tedious process, so I think what I will do is get back to you guys when that's done, but it's very tedious, so let's actually see how it goes. Okay, and with that finally done, we have the lava source all filled out. A full 10,000 blocks, a full bottomless source of lava. And I am so happy with the progress that we have made. So the next thing that I've been working on, you can see that I've done it for those two. I'm just putting the mechanical pumps underneath all of the blaze burners so that we can start pumping in some lava to fuel them. So we should get some steam engines on the front here, and then what we can do from there is power them all up. So we want we want that. So size, water, heat, boiler status, idle. So let's just hook up all of these, and then I think this should make, yeah, that is a level 4, I think. What happens if we make it a level, or what happens if we add 6? Nothing. I don't think it makes a difference. I think we can only do 4 for now. There we go! We're generating steam! So it definitely needs more water. So what we need to do is we need to route this into the power that we are getting from underneath. So let's go and do that. So we need to route this power here along and then up into our... Ooh, actually that probably should go on the back. So I think what we can do to make this a bit easier is if we just take a cogwheel to match the power output, we need to bring it over here. So we could probably have gearbox and then another gearbox. There we go. So now all we need to do is power this or power this. So what we can do is take a shaft output from here and then immediately drop it down to here, and then immediately take this along to here, and then we need to find a way to power this. There's 100% a much better way to do this. And after a little bit of thinking, I think this might actually be the best way to do it. So I think that will need... No, actually, if we use belts for these, they should all power together. And then if we just connect all of these up, that should now mean that all of our pumps are working together into the bottom of the blazes. Now, the difficult part is getting all of these to work together. So what I think we're going to do is pretty much the same tactic here. So we're just going to attach 2 cogwheels to each one, and I think belts are going to be our friend in this build just because of the orientation that we've used. So if we then grab some shafts and some belts, we can get these working as well. So we put them up by one, we grab a belt and we take it across. So I'm just gonna make sure that we can do this for all of them, get that all sorted, and then we can go from there. Then we just need to do a little bit of cleanup and then we can kickstart it, and it stopped. Okay, why has that stopped? Is it because we didn't give it enough water? Maybe? Or maybe it was the heat. Okay, I think we need to give it some fuel so that it can actually power up and give us real steam power to kick everything off. Okay, now that we have some fuel, let's feed these up. And then we can actually try and get this kicked off properly. So what we want to do is we want to start off with this. Let it generate us some steam power. And then as soon as it's generating some, we chuck on this cogwheel and hope that it starts to all generate its own steam power. And we should be able to connect this up with a belt quickly so it can power all of the pumps, just like that. And then it should hopefully start to power all of the mechanical pumps underneath as well. Do we have any way to actually power them yet? Oh, I don't think we do. Okay, so we need to get a power source in for those as well, which is there we go. Okay, so now we should be seeing some. Okay, this is passive, which isn't good. It doesn't have enough heat. This one has heat. It's level 1. This one has heat. This one has heat. That's good. This one also has heat. This one does not have heat. So we have a few that are not actually getting any heat, which isn't ideal. Why? It should be bottomless. Yeah, okay, that is bottomless. So why is this not getting any lava? I mean, it definitely should be. Let's have a look. Are we getting lava to there? Yes, we are. Are we getting lava there? Yep. Are we getting lava in here? Yep. Yep. In here? Yep. And in the last one? Yeah. So we're getting lava to them all. It's just not actually producing any heat in some of them. Oh, wait. Oh, no. There's still a couple that aren't producing any heat. So I wonder if that has anything to do with them not being kicked off. I mean, it shouldn't, but they should be fine. I just want to make absolutely sure that they are actually getting powered. And at the moment, it doesn't look like it. We are generating heat with all of them. I think we do need to be a little bit faster with the water, so we might need a speed controller to get going here. I don't know how I would incorporate that. For now, we have a lot of... Yeah, see, these guys are getting lava. These guys aren't. So what's the deal there? They also aren't. They are. They are. They are. Yep. Oh, are the ones closest eating up all the lava before the ones further away can take any? I really don't know. Oh, no. This is the worst situation. So I tried upgrading to 6 engines on each, and it has just completely stopped taking in any water. That is, yeah, not good. Not good. Okay, I think the best thing to do in this situation is just to redesign the whole power station. So I'm going to dismantle it all and then redesign it, because that design clearly wasn't working, and I think it actually has something to do with the space we have between all of our engines. So I'm just going to take everything apart, and then we are going to build up a brand new concept of a power station, and it might fill out physically less of the platform that we've built, but I actually think it's going to be way more efficient. So let's get that built up and see if we can kick that one off a little bit better. And if anything, it should actually give us a little bit more power. Okay, after a little bit of time spent thinking about how I would redesign this factory, I think this is the conclusion that I have come to. So the idea is that all of these are full-size boilers with 9 steam engines on each. So I don't know how much power this is going to get us exactly. I think the heat is going to come up to about half because we're using lava. However, I think instead of pumping the lava directly into the burners, because of how much SU that's actually going to take for it to work, I think what might be a better idea is if we use mechanical arms. So I've actually got the mechanical arms set up at the moment. I think the only thing I need is to grab some copper casing and then potentially get these built up. So I think the idea is that I'm gonna want one in front of each boiler, and then we're going to recycle buckets for the lava. That's probably going to be the best solution that we can get to what we need. So I want a belt going all the way from one end to the other. And then I think I want another belt going all the way back, and then potentially a belt going this way as well. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And that should be able to take all of the circuits that we need. So now all we need to do is power everything and set up a water feed into all of these generators. So I think the best thing to do, because it needs a lot of water, I think maybe 3 of these per boiler. So we're just going to line the top here with fluid pumps. And then obviously we need to flip them all so that they're all going into the boiler instead of out of the boiler, because the last thing we want is to pull water out of these things. That will cause a lot of issues. So let's get all of those flipped round. There we go. And this seems like it has done well. So if we pop back down here, this should be everything set up. So all we need to do is power these belts and then we are set to go. Right, so I've powered up all the belts. Now I'm just going to give a few of these blazes some heat just so we can actually start this system up a little bit, give it a little bit of power, and hopefully that should start turning everything. Although I'm not seeing the water level spike, which it should be. So I don't really know why. Are these all turning? They are taking in water, just not quick enough. See if we turn it up, that should get them going a little bit more. Yes, okay. Now they're taking in a bit more water. This is good. And now with this last one being put in now, this should turn everything on and we should start seeing some movement from these guys. Okay, that's really good. So we should start seeing a bit more heat come into these boilers now that they're all getting lava buckets. We just need to wait for a bit more lava buckets to actually circulate the system. There is quite a big backlog of buckets here, but what I can do is I can actually power some of these guys with some coal for now, just to get the heat up in all of them. And you can already hear that we are now generating a little bit faster, so that should keep them all going until the lava buckets have a backup. And I actually think forced round robin here is what is causing us to break a little bit. So if I set them all to normal round robin, that should hopefully fix it. And you can hear how much faster these steam engines are already going. This is insane. So I thought forced round robin would be the best way to go, but it doesn't actually seem like it. It seems like normal round robin is probably the better bet. Oh, listen to the speed of it all. And then we probably could actually speed it all up a little bit. 128. Oh my goodness. So I think what I want to do is get a stressometer on here so that we can see how much power we're making and also how much power we're using. And oh, this looks incredible with it all working in sync and it all going nice. Oh my goodness. Now that we have a stressometer on, we have built a 1.6 million stress unit power station. This is far more power than I think we will ever need, and I could not be happier. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a display board built so that we can see exactly how much stress units we have in total, how much we're using, and how much is left. So I think we can start there. So do I need to grab any display boards? No, I have plenty, which I'm very happy about. Awesome. So where do we want the power to be coming from is the question. Should we have it out the side or should we take it up through the middle? I think the middle might be our best bet. So I actually want to extend this out by 1 so that we have a proper middle block. And then I want to bring the power in from the bottom here. So I am going to need some more cogwheels and then we can take that straight down underneath. So if we just fill this back up with some stone, we can have that all connected again, just like that. These can probably get casing on them like that. So this is now all good. So if we grab a display link and connect it up to the back of the stressometer, we can go line 2. We want a remaining SU, remaining power SU, and that should give us 1.6 million. And actually, I do want to move that down to line 3 because we are going to have 3 display links coming off of this. And do I actually have enough to make 3 more? No, I need copper sheets. But that's fine. I can go make copper sheets back at Iron Reach Valley, and we're going to have 3 display links coming off of this. So we're going to have remaining SU, power utilized in SU, and then we will have total power in SU, and we'll give this a heading as well, which I think you can use dyes on, but I'm not going to delve too deep into that right now. What I think I want to work on is getting some sort of building in place around this now that we have this sorted. So what I was thinking is, you can see the sort of shape that I've gone for. If you guys have ever heard of the Battersea Power Station, I think it's somewhere down south in the UK. The Battersea Power Station is an incredible building with just monumental architecture. It's phenomenal. If you haven't seen it before, look it up, because really it's such a cool looking building. So that's the inspiration for our power station. So what I think we can do now is we should head on back to Iron Reach Valley and see how many materials we can pick up that we can build with, and bring them all back here and see what we have. I think what I'm going to do is go over to the workshop and grab the stonemason table and take it over to the new area so that we can start working on a rough outline for our building over at the power station. So let's go and at least put an outline in, and then we can continue from there and see where we get to. And while I'm working away on this time lapse, I thought this would be a good opportunity to chat to you guys about some of the support that I've been seeing on the videos over the last couple of weeks. And I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being so supportive of the videos, and I'm so thankful to see all of your great comments that have been coming through, especially on the 1000 days video. It seems that you guys really like that, and I hope that you do, because I really want to do them more in the future. I have had that plan in mind for, well, pretty much since the start of the series, and I'm really glad that I made it long enough in the world to put it into fruition. I mean, I had been thinking about doing that kind of video since season 1, and obviously we didn't make it long enough into season 1 before dying, so I'm really glad I could make it for season 2, and I hope that we can make another one. I also have an idea for a couple of other videos of that sort of style that don't have anything to do with the hardcore world, so if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I just wanted to take this time to say that I really appreciate all the support and all the new subscribers. Just wanted to say welcome you guys in, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos from this point on. Yeah, I didn't really plan out much more to say in this little voiceover, so I'll leave you guys to the time lapse. I hope you guys enjoy the building when we're done with it. This was probably the most fun that I've had building anything in this world for a while. It's the building that I'm happiest with so far, not even just in the industrial district, but just for the last couple episodes. I feel like my building has been a little bit off, so it was really nice to just sit down, do a little bit of research about what I wanted the building to look like, and then put it all into practice and build something that I'm actually really happy with. I will mention this later on in the video as well, but I think I want to do some things off camera for like decorating the buildings, and I think I want to do them as live streams. So some of you may know, some of you may not, but I used to live stream on Twitch quite regularly, and unfortunately since moving house I just don't have the internet capability to do it as much anymore. Along with training for a new job and everything a few months ago, I just kind of fell off of streaming a little bit. Yeah, I would love to get back into it, and I think this would be a great excuse to do that. So that is a plan. I have some new Wi-Fi coming in the next few days. Hopefully that will let me be able to stream, and you guys can watch how I texture buildings. I can walk you through my process and everything, take you through my mindset while I'm doing that, and just overall decoration that you might not see in videos because it's a little bit too time consuming or a little bit too tedious, and I don't want to clog the video up with stuff like that. So if that's something you guys are interested in, there will be a link in the description below for my Twitch channel. That's most likely where I'll do it. I'll probably do some other Minecraft stuff, and obviously we have a couple of other games coming out. Minecraft isn't the only thing that I play, it's not the only thing that I'm interested in, but it is the only thing that I upload to YouTube. But if you guys are interested in seeing me play some other games, then my Twitch or my second channel would be the best place to do that. The second channel currently doesn't have anything on it, but who knows, if I get back into streaming, it might start getting some uploads of some other games or some full streams or anything like that. If that's something that interests you, head on over to both and drop the Twitch a follow and subscribe to the second channel. If it's not something that interests you, that's absolutely fine. You can stay here and enjoy the good vibes of Minecraft. But yeah, I didn't plan anything else to talk about in this time lapse, so I'll leave you guys to have a look at the power station being built. I hope you guys like it. I will see you back in technically the past, because I suppose I'm future Purple. So yeah, I will see you guys back in the past. And with that little building time lapse done, we finally have our power station built. So as you can see, it is very heavily inspired by the Battersea power station in England, I believe. I could be wrong on where that is, but it's definitely very heavily inspired by the Battersea power station. You can see the big glass sort of domed roof in the center and the slightly bigger buildings on the side with the chimneys. I think this has come out really, really nice. I really like it. The blue glass adds kind of a really cool modern side to it with the granite brick, bringing it back to sort of really old school vibes. But I hope you guys enjoyed that little time lapse of me getting this building done. I'm super, super happy with the power station and how this has all turned out and how much power we are making. I cannot wait to get this all finished and get the cobblestone and gold farm up and running fully. Look at how awesome this thing looks. It definitely is. It looks like a power station. It looks like it's creating massive amounts of power, and it's going to look even better when we have some smoke and some particle effects coming out of the top of the chimneys. And just overall, it is going to look so amazing. I cannot wait to have this all finished. So the next thing we are going to work on is we're going to work on the grounds of the building. So I think it is just going to come out from the front. We're going to have a little bit of almost like a parking lot kind of vibe to it, but I don't think we're going to do all too much. I don't want it to come out too far because we do need to fit other buildings in here as well, but I definitely want some sort of courtyard in the front, probably just a parking lot. So we're going to have to gather up some resources, do a little bit of, design work to see how this is going to all fit together. And then I think it is going to look really, really cool. I'm super, super happy with how this has turned out. I'm going to go and gather some resources for building this parking lot and little courtyard thing. And I will see you guys when I start building that. Okay, so I've gathered up a bunch of materials that we can use to flesh out this area a little bit in front of the power station. And you can see that I've used some of those materials to build up a fence around the edge. So it's just some of these andesite bars on top of different types of stone bricks. Now, what I'm thinking for the ground is probably a deep slate, and I'm torn between weathered and eroded, and I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards eroded just because it looks a little bit more like a road. This looks a bit more like tarmac than this because of the tiled effect that you get with weathered deep slate. I just think eroded looks a little bit better, but then is it distinct enough from the stone to have that kind of look? Unless we add in like a path around the edge, that could be quite interesting. Like if we add a path in on these two blocks here, I think that could be quite cool. So yeah, actually, I do quite like the idea of having a path. So I think I will do that. That's an interesting idea. So I want to fill this side up and do it as a car park. And then I think the other side, I might make a garden. I feel like a building like this would have a garden. So that is the path. Oh, hello. We have our first employee coming to work. What have you got for us today? Glowstone, that's interesting. Acacia blossoms, oak saplings, orange dye, and a bucket of tropical fish. Listen, Leroy, I understand that you like your fish, but no more use of the break room microwave for that, okay? It's getting out of hand now, Leroy. Oh, he's decided he didn't like that. He just wants to go home. He wants to go home and microwave his fish. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, we still have a little bit of work to do for the courtyard on the outside, and there's still a little bit of work to do on the interior. But in terms of the general sort of atmosphere, I think we have reached a point where I'm happy to say that we can call it a day here and start work on the gold farm next episode. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys are excited for the gold farm now that we have all the power set up. Let me know what you guys think of the power station that we have built. Let me know if you want to see anything else. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of the really positive comments and really positive vibes in the comments for the last couple of videos, the cobblestone generator and the big full movie. I hope you guys are enjoying that. I think I really want to do that for every sort of roughly 1,000 days, which I'm expecting to be every sort of 10 to 11 7 episodes. So I hope you guys enjoy that sort of style of video, and I hope you guys are enjoying the full movie if you are watching it. If you've missed any episodes, or if you don't want to wait for the episodes to come out and you just want to wait for the full movie, that is absolutely fine. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for all the positive vibes. There have been some really good suggestions for stuff, and I actually have something I want to talk about next episode that I have done to this world that I didn't really have time to talk about in this episode, and there hasn't actually been any indication of it. So we need to wait for certain things to happen in the world before I can talk about it, so that you have a little bit of context to what I'm talking about. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the power station build. I will catch you guys for the gold farm. Peace. God, this machine is so loud.